In this video, I want to walk you through how you can audit your own Instagram profile in less than 5 minutes, see exactly what's working, exactly where the pipeline is broken, so you can actually start first attracting more of the right people into your business and then converting them into leads, clients, and customers. If you follow this really simple framework, it's going to give you absolute clarity on exactly what to work on and what is probably less important when it comes to your time and attention with Instagram. If you don't, you're probably going to be left still wondering what is the right thing that I should be posting, and you'll be second guessing, am I putting my focus and attention in the right space? If we haven't met before, my name's Jake Davey. I have taught business owners and entrepreneurs how to use Instagram for the past 10 years, and our clients have generated over $22 million in online sales using the framework that I teach. I personally have generated over $3 million in sales in my own business, and I want to walk you through exactly one of the key frameworks that we use every single time with clients. So let's do it. Let's dive in. So you can see my screen here, and it's divided into 3 separate areas, really simple actually, about how we're going to audit your Instagram account. So I want you to draw this triangle, keep it nice and simple, keep it really clean, and we're just going to go through it. I'm going to walk you through step by step how this works. So the triangle divides into 3 key areas. That's the first thing I should say. The first element, and this is applicable for any business on Instagram and more broadly, just any business, I would say, is about how you attract your ideal audience, how you then invite conversations, okay, how you invite convos, I'm going to call it, and then how you monetize. And naturally, if you can get these things nailed down, attracting your ideal people, inviting conversations with those people, and then monetizing, you're in a position where as soon as you attract more people, you can start to grow and scale. So let's go through each of these in turn so you've got a clear idea about exactly how this works and how it can work for your Instagram account as well. We're going to zero in on attract first of all. And this line, as with the others, divides into 3 separate sections. And the first part of attracting people into your business through Instagram, naturally, is your Instagram profile. I usually call this the funnel profile because it really is the first step in your business. It's the first step in your funnel. It's the first step in the journey that somebody would go through when they start working with you or potentially start working with you. And so how do we audit your profile? Well, the question that I would have is this. Firstly, how easy is it for somebody when they land on your profile to know exactly what you do and exactly how you can help them? Do you have your professional photo or your brand profile picture set up the right way? Is your account name in your own name or in your company, in your brand name? Does your bio explain exactly what you do, who you do it for, and does it have a clear call to action about the next steps that people need to take if they want to work with you? Are your story highlights, your pinned posts, and your reels showcasing you, your best work, client success stories and testimonials? And when you look at your content, is there an overall clear theme that kind of matches, some sort of clear branding about exactly what you do and who the right people are? If you do, great. You have a way to start attracting people and driving people into your business. The second way that we want to focus on attracting people is through your content. Of course it is, right? And naturally, where we are today on Instagram, the most effective way that you can drive people into your business through your content, I would suggest, is with Instagram Reels. Short vertical video, less than 60 seconds, is the best bang for your buck that you can create right now in 2026. And that may well continue into next year as well. You create a video once, you can distribute it still for free across Instagram. You can boost it with ads if you want, but you can also share that video across multiple different channels and multiple different platforms. So you have the massive opportunity to reach more people. My question for you would be this, is how many posts or how many reels have you shared in the last 30 days? And also when you look at your kind of over the last 30 days, do they hit the top queries or questions or pain points and desires of your ideal client? And what's the consistency like when you're posting on your Instagram account as well? The third area when it comes to attracting the ideal people is your interaction and your engagement, okay? And so the engagement works on 2 fronts, or I would suggest it works on 2 fronts. We have firstly your inbound engagement, and then we have your outbound engagement. Let's start with the inbound first of all. The way that I would regard inbound engagement is any interaction that happens on your content. So when you post, are people commenting? Are they interacting? Are they engaging with polls? Do they respond to your stories and such? That is your inbound conversation. And when they do that, how do you respond and how do you engage? Because if you are, fantastic. But if you're not, if you're just letting those comments sit there and kind of fester and you're doing nothing with them to build rapport and build relationships, then again, you're missing out on the best ways to attract more of the right people into your business. The outbound is where you actually go out and find the ideal people who are a good fit for your business, and you either go to them directly or you look at the market leaders or competitors in your space, and then you look at, well, who's following them, who's engaging with their content. Do you have a crystal clear plan around your engagement in an outbound sense and in an inbound sense when it comes to attracting your ideal audience? If you do, great. If not, then that might be something that we want to work on. Next is the I section, and it's how do we go about inviting conversations? Sales is all about the next conversation. It's one of the best quotes I've ever heard from somebody I interviewed on my podcast a number of years ago. He said, sales is all about the next conversation. And I love it. And that's completely stuck with me ever since. The reality is you might sell on the phone. You might sell on Zoom. You might sell through a webinar. You might sell just by sending people to an order page and they go and buy, depending on what you do and what your products are and such. But there needs to be a degree of conversation, either real life, in person, online, or through web pages and such, that allows people to go and purchase. So the first and easiest step and easiest way for you to engage people in conversation, moving people from a public space on Instagram to a private space on Instagram, is with your Instagram stories, because they literally do that. They take your followers, and when people engage, when they interact with your stories, then it takes them into a private conversation. It goes straight into a DM, which is amazing if you're a business owner and if you have things to sell. So how often do you post your stories? I personally like 4 times a week. I like a Monday, a Wednesday, a Friday, and a Saturday, because I like to have my stories expire before I then launch our next set. And the key thing with your stories is, are you just showing notices about what's going on in my life and here's where I am and here's what's happening today? Or are you actually inviting people to take the next step with a call to action where you can maybe address a problem, a challenge, you show success stories or testimonials, and then you drive people to take the next step. The next part of inviting conversations is on Instagram today, has worked really, really well, is your comment keyword feature. Now, comment keyword mainly associated with ManyChat. There are other tools that allow you to do this. The very, very simple framework for this is, how frequently are you using this comment keyword tool? One of the biggest queries that people have when they come to us with Instagram, especially if they've been using LinkedIn before, if they've been using Facebook before, or any of these other channels to attract clients and customers, is people say, oh, Jake, I can't have clickable links in my posts. This makes it so much harder for me to get clients. It's so much more difficult for me to get traffic because there's no clickable links in my posts. And it's true, on Instagram there aren't. So we need a different way to move people from public into private. And the way that you can do that right now is the comment keyword through ManyChat. So my question would be, how often are you using, or how frequently are you using this ManyChat or comment keyword feature? When you offer something in exchange, do you then move people into a direct message? And how effectively do you follow up to then move people to the next step of a sales conversation? If you're doing it frequently, great. If you're not, we're missing out. And again, it might need a little bit of work here. The third, final element when it comes to inviting conversations is, of course, moving people off Instagram. Okay, yes, there really is a world beyond Instagram. And if you move people off the platform into your business, I'm a big fan of this, by collecting name, email address, offering free gifts, lead magnets, webinar registrations and such, then it gives you the opportunity to ultimately move people into a space that you own, your email database, rather than somebody else's land, which is Facebook, Meta, Instagram and such. So how effectively do you move people off Instagram? If you are in a position that you do that on a regular basis and the platform is feeding you consistent, regular leads, wonderful news, you're in a really strong position. If not, then the question is, well, what needs to change and what needs to happen so that we can start directing more traffic into your business? The final element is monetization. And again, this divides into 3 really nice, neat areas. The first key area for you to be able to monetize most effectively is, do you have your own expert model or framework that ultimately sets you apart as an expert? Okay, so in our business, as an example, we have the Rocket system. Okay, we have our AIM framework, which I'm teaching you right now. We have our FIRE model, which is what I usually share with our clients when they get started. So there's a number of frameworks and a number of models that we use, almost like proprietary knowledge that separates us from other people in the space. Rather than just saying you do this, you do this, you do this, and loading people with information, we're specifically showing a framework that we have applied to our account and in our business, and then we're showing people another how the framework can apply to their business as well. So do you have your own kind of proprietary model or framework that you can use that showcases your knowledge, your expertise, and it helps your ideal client move from where they are now, A, stuck, to where they want to be, outcome, problem solved? Yeah. The second part of your monetization, and this massively helps, is when you can showcase client results and success stories. Reality is that people buy from people, and they buy from people who have also got results for people just like them. That's quite a mouthful to say. But if you show evidence, if you show examples of clients who are just like the people you're trying to attract, that have the results that those people want, you're going to have a flood of people coming into your business that allows you more opportunity to monetize effectively. And that's the greatest thing. And so can you showcase results? These might be success stories, these might be testimonials, they might be video, they might be written, they might be screenshots. All of these different things work really, really well. But my question would be, how effectively and how often are you showcasing client results and success stories of people that have worked with you, so that it starts attracting more of the right people that you want in your business as well? And then the final element is, do you have a scalable offer? Okay. One of the biggest things when we start working with clients, I find, is that they come to us because they believe that they need more traffic, and that Instagram is the thing that solves that problem for them. And I'm not disagreeing in the sense that Instagram is an incredible place for you to get in front of your ideal audience, and there are incredible ways that you can move them off the platform and into your business. But the reality is that, if I'm totally honest, for not all of them, but a majority of people when they come to us, is if they had more traffic, I'm not convinced that immediately they would make more money. And it's not because they're bad at what they do, but it's because the offer that they're presenting at this stage maybe doesn't quite align with exactly the pain points, the challenges, the stucks, the wants, the desires of their ideal client. They have the knowledge and they have the expertise, they're just not framing it in a way that makes it extremely desirable, like an absolute no-brainer, I have to have that for their ideal client. And this is a real shame, because so many people who are really good at what they do miss out on working with people and helping people because they haven't quite framed their offer in the right way. But you'll notice here I've got scalable offer, because the reality is that you can have an offer all day long, but if you are tied to the fulfillment, and if you're tied to the delivery, if you're doing hourly, one to one, you're delivering hourly, that's not scalable. There's only so many hours in the day and so many hours in the week. So you've got a real problem there, because eventually you're gonna max out and you're gonna be tapping out and you're gonna burn out. If you have a scalable offer, then it means that the business can grow without being tied to you and the amount of hours that you work. And I give a really simple example, is that when I started this 9 years ago or so, I was doing one-to-one all the time, and I was working 50 odd hours a week, 60 hours a week, sometimes 6 days a week, right? If I look at where I am today, then I work normally about 6 hours a week, and I pick and choose when I work. We're a bigger company than we are now, but we have better systems, we've got a better framework in place, we've got a better model in place and a system in place that allows for us to grow and work with more people without it taking any more of my time at all, which is exactly the type of framework that I would love for you to be in as well. So let's take a step out and let me just walk you through exactly what this looks like. So these are the key steps, if you like, the key areas of this frame. What I'm going to ask you to do as I go through each of these now is just keep in mind, because I've talked to you about the different areas, but the reality is it's not just about what are the areas, it's about how effectively are you following through in these different areas right now. So the next step I'm going to ask you to do is to rag these different things, right? And when I say rag, what I mean is red, okay, is this isn't going great, we could definitely make some improvements here. That's the first one. Amber, I don't have, but I've got orange. So I'll just put in there, it could be ROG, I guess. And then G is green. So in other words, which of these areas are you doing a really good job in right now? Which of these are kind of okay and they need maybe a little bit of work? That would be amber. And then which of these are just, they're not set up right now. We're leaking leads. We're missing an opportunity to attract clients and grow our business right now because these things are not in place. Yeah. So as a quick reminder, if I just go through, I'm just going to color these in randomly. If my funnel profile is set up the right way and I'm really comfortable that it showcases me, my best work, my client success stories, how people can work with me, the content is aligned, my bio says what I do and who I do it for and what the next step is, then I would highlight that green. If it was anything less, then it would be a different color, okay? The reels and the content, if I said, oh, I'm not too satisfied with that at the moment, it could probably do a bit better. It might be on red. And then my engagement is on an amber. And I would say, yeah, the engagement's okay. I do a bit of in, not a lot of out. So it's kind of happening. I'm posting stories consistently and I'm really happy with my framework for stories. And then you might think, well, do you know what? I'm not using the comment keyword. I looked at it and I've seen other people do it. I kind of got ManyChat set up. I might be paying for it every month, but you know what? I'm never using it. So that might be red. So very simple is you're just going to go through all these different areas and just identify, well, are these red? Are these amber? Or are these green? And the cool thing now is that when you look at it from a bird's eye view in a really, really simple frame, as I've got for you here, you can now start to say, do you know what? These things are taken care of, right? I'm doing them really, really well. And the reality is in almost every single account that I've audited with clients, it's never been the case, right, that everything is red. It's just not the case that everything is red. And so you can celebrate the fact that, you know what, this is good, this is absolutely fine. And then we focus on, and this is the key thing, and our pure goal going forward then becomes, well, how do we turn the reds into ambers? How do we turn the ambers into greens? And how do we keep the greens exactly as they are so that they continue to function for us? And the goal ultimately is that we move every single one of these areas into a green so that you know your Instagram account, your profile is set up in exactly the right way to not just attract your ideal audience, which is where most people stop, not just attract your ideal audience, but to move that ideal audience into conversations where you continually make your offers to them and move them into your business. And then for you to actually be able to monetize most effectively through a scalable model, showcasing your client results and success stories, and you take them through a framework which is proprietary knowledge to you. This is the most simple way that I can share with you to audit your Instagram account. The reality is that you don't need somebody to look over this. You can do this yourself and then have clear next steps. Equally though, quite often when we get to this stage, people say, Jake, I would love it if you would actually look over my shoulder and show me exactly what this looks like. So what I'm going to do is this. If you'd like to come and see this in action and actually get a bit more guidance about your Instagram account, how we work with clients so you can see what the potential trajectory is when you get these things ready and get them in place, then I'd love for you to join us on one of our upcoming live trainings. I'll pop a link below here so you can go and check it out. No obligation, it's completely free. You can come and see if it's for you, that's absolutely fine. But it may well just be the thing that gives you absolute clarity on your next steps and you can focus on, okay, these are the things that are working. These are the things that are not quite working. This is what I need to work on. This is what I need to improve. So you have absolute clarity going forward. If you found this video useful, firstly, go and click the link you find in and around in the comments below. And you're welcome to like and subscribe. That will be even better. Thanks so much. Look after yourself. We'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Hey, how are you doing? Jake here. So thanks so much for joining us for this video. Look, if it's been helpful, useful at all, remember to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're literally just getting started on the channel. And so I'd love for this to be shared with more people, especially if you found it useful. If you do want more information, we talk about the training in there in the free masterclass. You're welcome to take a look at that as well. You'll find the information for that in the description below. Clickable link, go ahead, register completely for free. And if it's for you, then I look forward to seeing you there. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.